Hello. I want to thank you again to welcome to the Excuse Me Brother podcast. I'm your host that does the most, Brother Tay. Normally I have more people here with me, but due to some personal and some work issues, I will be recording alone this week. So before I continue, I want to say if you like this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comments, we read them. Someone does. And then if you're listening to this on any other podcasting, please follow, leave a comment, leave ratings. We do enjoy. I read those. Can't really respond to those, but I do enjoy reading them. They're very lovely. So since I'm recording alone, technically this is a second thing I'm recording, but I decided that whenever I record alone, it's only going to be about sports because that's the only thing in my mind that I can talk about for long periods of time. So, welcome. So this episode again will be sports with your older brother, Brother Tay, or your younger brother, whichever one you want to call me. Whatever vibe I give you. I give off many. I could be a middle brother as well. I do have violent tendencies because I played football. And speaking of football, this is the end of the football season with now going into offseason with the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, so congratulations to them. Once again, back-to-back champions. I actually didn't know they were back-to-back champions till someone said it because I completely forgot about the Super Bowl last year. Completely forgot about it. But it was one of my favorite Super Bowl games that I watched in a very long time since I think maybe the Falcons versus Patriots one and the Rams one. That was also a good one. But I think it was a fantastic Super Bowl. Great game. MVP against Patrick Mahomes as he gets his third ring, catching up to Tom Brady, which I hope he does. I hope he passes Tom Brady. I really do. It's my tiny. It's a Christmas wish of mine. Fuck Boston. That's why I don't like. I never will like New England. I hated them. Still hate them to this day. But I'm going to continue. Great work. I know a lot of people did not want Kansas City to win because of the whole Taylor Swift thing, which is also still very weird to me that you can see you can just see a woman just there. I know it's Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has her own cult following, but like just because she's there at the game doesn't mean it ruins the game. She's just there. They do that for a lot. They just flash people. That's fine. It doesn't really do anything. Also, I love how my favorite thing is that there was a bet that they would show Taylor Swift 22 times on the screen during the Super Bowl. I think they showed her, the ones I've seen, it was like 7 to 8. Whenever like Travis Kelce did something interesting. Those are the ones I remember. So that number was very high, but maybe they counted like the after Super Bowl celebration because I think she was on camera a lot there. I could be wrong. I didn't see the after thing. Oh, you know what? I wonder who did the commercial for Disney where every time they do it, they're like, oh, who is it? Like the thing, it's like, oh, you just won the Super Bowl. You just won the Super Bowl. Where are you going to do next? I'm going to Disney World. Maybe Patrick Mahomes did it again. I can see that. I can see him doing it again. That'd be interesting. That was a great football season, and now it's time for the all season, which is the favorite thing for a lot of bad football teams like the Jets, Giants, Panthers, Bears. I'm just naming bad football teams. Which is interesting since I said the Bears. I really want to talk about the Bears' interesting thing. So the Bears have the first overall pick because the Panthers traded their pick to the Bears. I think it was for DJ Moore. They traded their first round pick. I think to go up in the draft. They traded DJ Moore in their first round pick for this year. This was last year. So with that, since the Panthers were so bad, they had the worst record of the year. They had the number one. The Bears now have the number one overall pick, which is interesting now because not a lot of people know, but Chicago has a young quarterback by the name of Justin Fields, who's been mostly carrying that team on his back for the past two years. Because I don't think his first year, because he's gone into his fourth year now, so his rookie year wasn't as great. He tried his best. He had to get adjusted. Second year, in the middle of the second year, he started to explode, had an offensive fury, and showed what he can really do. And then this year, it was much of a plateau from where he ended last year. It wasn't bad, but he was very, very average, and he had explosive moments. We had explosive games with the new wide receiver, DJ Moore, that they got from the Panthers. So I think he did very good. It was a fantastic game. Fantastic game for him. But he's going to his 4th year. So now, what's interesting is that the Bears have now fired their GM that hired the GM that drafted Justin Fields. And I believe they also fired their head coach. Or like the head coach first year. I'm not going to look into it because I don't care enough to do that. But just as an overall saying, this is what happened. So now the decision for the Bears is that do they decide now what do they want to do? Will they now trade Justin Fields and draft a new quarterback with the first overall pick, or will they trade away the first round pick for a team that does need a new quarterback? Because some teams, there are not that many teams as much as it used to be. But there are some teams that need a new quarterback that can be the franchise of their team. So this is a decision for the Bears. I like Justin Fields as a quarterback, but I personally think with a new head coach and a new GM, you probably want to restart with everything. I'd say trade him away. Trade Justin Fields away and draft it. But the only reason I'm saying this is because the rookie that they can draft, his name is Caleb Williams. Now, he's supposedly the best. He's supposed to be the best quarterback out of college since Andrew Luck. And for those of you who are a football fan, you know Andrew Luck was really good. For those who don't know, Andrew Luck was a quarterback that came out of Stanford. And in his first year, he took his team to 11-5. He won 11 games, lost only 5 games, took them to the playoffs, and got them to I think the divisional round where he lost. And he never had a bad year, was always a Pro Bowler, was nominated. I think he got a few All-Pro teams, which is if you're an NBA fan, it's the first team. I don't really know the accolades for football. All other footballs, that's not American football. For people who watch are only baseball fans who listen to this, like a Gold Glove, one of the Gold Glovers. That's what in that terms. That's what it means. I also don't know what it is in hockey terms either. I'm gonna look that up. Not now. Later on in the future. Because I don't. Does hockey really have an all-pro, all best team of the year? I know people get rewarded for I know there's rewards like best goalie, best defenders, things like that for hockey players, best player and all this, and coach of the year. But is there an all first team hockey? I'm sure there is, but what would you call it? The all skate team? So I'm gonna look up later on in the future. But yes, so it came out and then he retired prematurely because of he was drafted to the Colts. So he literally took over for Peyton Manning. He was the quarterback right after Peyton Manning. Not literally a year, I think a year after or something like that. Not too sure. But he was drafted out of the Colts, went straight after Peyton Manning, went straight to the Denver Broncos. That's when Peyton won his last championship. Finished to finish it. So he retired, like I said, he retired prematurely because the Colts never built an offensive line and he was always injured. So he decided that he didn't want to do this no more. And he was like, I'd rather have my health than have to walk around with crutches and all this stuff. He's like, I'd rather take the effects that I already have and just walk away. So that's what he did. He walked away from the game, never played again. However, his father actually was the catalyst that started the XFL, which is I'm gonna call it the minor leagues for football at this point. Every league has a minor league from the major league, except for American football. All the hockey leagues, all the football leagues, all the baseball leagues have minor teams. So now XFL is not really a full-on minor team because they're not all the teams have minor teams, because that's what it is, like basketball and baseball. Like basketball have the Knicks have, the New York Knicks is the major basketball team, and then you got the Westchester Knicks, bottom, like a minor league team for players to get developed so they can come to the NBA, or just stay there and get a check. Their choice. But so it's interesting because in the brain it's like, okay, your team's already bad. Justin Fields is in his 4th year. So I'll actually, before I continue, the significance about why I mentioned 4 years for rookies. For every time when a player is drafted into the NFL, all their contracts are normally 4-year contracts. And then the team gets an option of extending it for a 5th year. Those are for most draft picks. But they actually had to get drafted. So from rounds 1 through 7, there's 7 rounds of the NFL draft. So they're drafted 1 through 7, they get a 4-year contract, whatever the amount is. And then they get a 5th option if the team likes someone and wants to keep them around. Now, Justin Fields on his 4th year. I think he'll get a 5th-year option wherever he goes, which is why it makes it very interesting, because he's already shown what he can do with one wide receiver. His offensive line was average-ish. It wasn't the best, but he didn't get hurt that often. Look, when you're playing a physical sport like football, you're always going to get hurt. So I think it's probably easier to trade Justin Fields to another team and get something like a help out than it is to trade for the 1st-round pick. Because a lot of people are going to want the 1st-round pick, but whatever you're asking for, I don't think whatever the Bears are going to ask for that 1st-round pick, people are going to be willing to give it away. Because especially since the most quarterback-hungry teams are already in the top 5, mostly top 5, top 10 of the picks. And the most hungry ones I can think of right now is Patriots. Who's the second team below? Patriots is definitely one that's looking for a new quarterback, but they're number 3. They're not going to trade their 3rd pick and some other stuff to get the 1st-round pick, especially since this draft has 3 quarterbacks that people really think can start in the NFL. But Caleb Williams is just better than all of them. Why is it easier to trade Justin Fields to get something out of that? So whether it's you can probably get another pick, 1st or 2nd, depending on the team you're talking to. So you get another pick from that team, so you can use this year, and probably ask for another player. Probably get another wide receiver, offensive line help, defensive player. The Bears had a terrible defense. Just things that can help them now, and then things that can help them in the future to build for when they draft this quarterback, because they already have the 1st-round pick. So I think that's why it'd be easier just to that. Excuse me, sorry. But those things. But that was the NFL. So ready. That's the thing. The draft won't happen for another few months, and there's some other nonsense to go through free agency. But that's something not to care about. Since I already mentioned basketball and some of the other sports, let's go to basketball, because this week that just passed was the All-Star weekend, and people were not happy with it. And I understand why. For one, NBA already had an issue with the slam dunk contest that people say has been boring for a long time. People think it has little resurgent years. A lot of people say it hasn't been good since the late 2000s, and then you had little resurgence with Nate Robinson and Dwight Howard going at each other for 2 straight years. Zach LaVine helped out that era. Aaron Gordon was great. Derrick Jones. These are other spurts but a lot of people don't like the slam dunk contest. And this year, was not any better or any hope for it. So the winner was Mac. I don't remember his last name, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it. But his first name is Mike. He put on a great show. Yeah, he showed some dunks that some people before. It was clear, obvious that he should have won. But a lot of people were mad at like the superstar, Jaylen Brown, which is a superstar in the NBA. He's a great player for the Celtics. Sorry, Boston Celtics. But it was very obvious that like the score he was getting for his dunks were inflated, to say the most. I think you see a dunk that most people would have been like, okay, that should be a 40 to 40 to 41, because like you're never gonna give someone a 39 for a dunk unless like they miss countless times, because it's just to be nice or enough. So like a 9 to an 8. Say they were giving him 48s for the dunks, 47s, 49s. It was very obvious that the dunk he did was not worth that high of a score. So a lot of people were already mad about the slam dunk contest, thinking it was rigged, which I can't argue with it, especially after he did like a memorial dunk to a kid that was going into the draft, but unfortunately was killed before he got his dream to come true. And the NBA didn't honor anything by like doing an honorary draft pick of him for his family, because he was gonna make it to the league. He was already in college. I think he already did his year of college, because I think he went to Kentucky, or he was gonna go to Kentucky. One of the two. I think he was in Kentucky. His name was Terrence Clark, but he did more dunk to Terrence Clark. And then everyone's like, oh, that's why he made it to the finals, so he can do the dunk to honor the kid, to honor the player that unfortunately didn't make it to the league because of that. Can't argue with that, but the dunk contest was bad. The skill challenge was fun-ish, but like it's not fun when you know people are lollygagging about it. Like at the skill challenge, you want people to at least take it at least some bit seriously, but it's very obvious they were not. Especially with I think Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards was on there. He's a right-handed person. He was shooting with his left hand, so like people were like already annoyed by that. The only good thing that came out of that, the All-Star weekend, for that was the celebrity game, which was fun to see. It was a good game. I only saw the first half of it because I got busy, so I couldn't watch the second half. I have recorded, so I may watch it. Watching Kai Cenat. A lot of people were making fun of Kai Cenat because he wanted to win MVP, and he just sat there like angry, like an angry child, looking at the trophy getting handed to his older brother, which is really funny. There's no way you're gonna find it, Producer Jay, but if you ever look up Kai Cenat and just him being mad at the All-Star game, MVP, he literally looked like a child. If you can find it, I would very much appreciate it. I'm not gonna watch it to find out if you found it. Just message me if you do. When you listen to this, I'm not gonna watch. I promise you this. I'm not. I'd rather have this one come out than the other recording one come out, because the other recording one, I don't remember what I did because I was very tired. But I know the starting was very wild. That's just a reference. It's like an uncut reference. You'll never, if you ever have my hope, you'll never hear it. Never in your lifetime. Unless we do like a blooper reel after like making 500 episodes, which I ever doubt we do a blooper reel. Or something Producer Jay wants to hold over me from my life, which he can, but it is what it is. And the 3-point contest, which was actually is a 2-part series this time. So they had the regular 3-point contest, which Damian Lillard won, if my memory serves incorrect. It was a really good slam dunk contest. It was a really good 3-point contest. Not slam dunk. We already talked about that one. But then they also had Steph Curry. Everyone knows Steph Curry as the greatest 3-point shooter in NBA history, going against Sabrina. I can't pronounce her last name either. Sabrina plays for New York Liberty, but she won the slam dunk. She won the 3-point contest last year or this year, I guess. No, last year. Last year in the WNBA, they had their All-Star thing. They have 3-point contest, and she had a perfect round where she did 30. So she had the most ever, and Steph Curry had 29. Also, they had the head-to-head contest, which I think I would love to see that every year. Just like, well, this year was Damian Lillard, so like next year, like whoever wins the women's 3-point contest for the WNBA, I want to see her go against Damian Lillard in a 3-point shootout, or someone can face Steph Curry again. I don't think Steph Curry would mind. He does weird things all the time, especially with his TV shows and his golf stuff. So I don't think he would care. Just whoever. I feel like they should do it again. Just NBA 3-point contest winner goes against WNBA contest winner, and I feel like that would be just an interesting thing to do, and I hope they keep that. That'd be fun. The game itself, All-Star game itself was not as bad as slam dunk contest, but just wasn't really good. Like everyone knows that NBA All-Star games, there's no one really plays hard. There's just a little bunch of like 3-point shooting and like alley-oops and just like game time, showtime dunks, which is fine. But once you start lacking in the dunk arena where people are getting excited for the dunks, it really becomes an issue. So that's where like a lot of people were complaining about that, which I understand. So now if you want to make the All-Star game mean something, I don't think that's a good idea. If anything, if you want to change the All-Star game, I suggest, and you don't have to take my opinion. If anything, I think you should make it a 3-on-3 contest. Just like 12 players from the East, 12 players from the West, 12. Then 4 captains, or maybe 8 captains. Let's do 8 captains. 8 captains from like people who get voted from the starters, like top. And then just everyone, because 12 is 24, so you have 8 teams. They pick 2 players. Each person gets 2 picks. Should we just make it 4? I mean, that you can divide 4 3-man teams, and just like three in the starting, 3 on the bench. That can also work, I guess, too. I say just make it a 3-on-3 contest. So like they get whoever's the 4. I think it might work out that way. So the 4 top vote getters get together. They do their own little draft, like they used to do. Like they got rid of, like they were drafting pickup teams, so it'd be like that again. Top 4 players get the board to see who they get to pick from. They make their own team, and then all 4 of them get into like a group pool play. The top 2 advance, and then those 2 play for the winner. And then like the winning team gets like they get a bonus, like a cash bonus, and their charities also get a cash donation. It's like everyone to motivate someone to work. Money's always a good choice, and just because they're entertainers, they still work. And their job is just to entertain us. That's all it is. I think that'd be a fantastic way to change that. So, but now NBA season will start up. They had their first games back. The Knicks, as a New Yorker person, the Knicks won their first game back. So, I'm all happy for it. So, but I think let's end this off very well with baseball, because the baseball free agency has started. I don't know much. I just got news about like Tim Anderson, probably the best black African American baseball player right now to me, or like one of the best black. He signed a contract. Just baseball season about to start. Spring trading is starting off for a lot of teams very soon. I think pitchers and catchers are actually reported. Not really a baseball person. I haven't been able to watch it for a while. I'm very excited to see what these teams will be able to do. starting off with like the new Dodgers with getting Shohei Ohtani and his friend coming from Japan. So like they have two of the best players along with Mookie Betts. I look forward to seeing what the Yankees do with Juan Soto, and I know they're also still looking for more players. I haven't seen any news yet about it, but I know that'll be interesting. But the baseball season starts, and I think this very interesting time and everything. So that being said, I'm not going to talk much about football, normal football to everyone around the world. I haven't really been paying attention because it doesn't show as much on my TV. I know the Champion League is getting up started, so I look forward to seeing that on my TV with whatever the teams are. I don't know most of the teams. I did get to see Chelsea, I got to see Chelsea when I was in London, so that was very much fun. So I'll be cheering for Chelsea because I already got to see it. But I know I have a friend in London who I think she's a Man U fan. So I'm not going to change my allegiance. In fact, I'm just going to probably just boo that team more because my friend likes them, and I'm petty. That's just the way I work. I won't lie to you. So, to end it off, where we go? I've been very excited for track and field because it's one of my sports I play a lot of. And with this one, it's going to be indoor track and field world champions. I look forward to seeing Noah Lyles and Christian Coleman go against each other once again to see who's going to become the world champion, especially since Noah Lyles beat Christian Coleman for the first time in 60 meters last week. And they both ran like 60 meters and 6.4 seconds. Noah Lyles beat him by a hundredth of a second. He ran 6.42, and Christian ran he ran 6.43, and Coleman ran 6.44. Again, a hundredth of a second separating, but that's how good those races are, and I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited, especially with Finkable breaking the world record again in the 400 indoor. I know she will also be competing. I hope she breaks it again. Hopefully, I probably want to see her run. I want to see if she can get under 49 seconds to see if she can get to 48. So that's going to start in March. I think March 17th, and then you get ready for the Olympic year. It's also been the World Championships of swimming. It's also been going on so far, just like a little minor length. None of the major people were competing this year in the World Championships because it is also an Olympic year. So a lot of people are mostly just getting ready for that. But it was a very good showing by China. They had a fantastic showing with their relay teams. One of them broke the 100 meters freestyle world record. I don't remember his name, and I'm not going to try to mispronounce it because I don't want to say something offensive. I try my best not to be offensive when I do these recordings, just to be fair. So, but I think that's a good idea. And I look forward to seeing the Olympics, like always, when it comes to the sun. So, I think at that, we're going to call it an ending. So, I want to thank you very much for listening to me ramble about sports. One of my favorite things to talk about because it's just entertaining to me and hear my thoughts out on it. And if you want to get in contact with us, you can follow us on Instagram at excuse_me_brother, ending with an A, not an ER. Because I made it and it's Black History Month, so we can't be racist. And then if you want to get in contact with us on TikTok, it's excuse me, brother, with an ER, no spaces. I didn't make that one, so you know it's a problem already. And if you want to get in touch with us on Facebook, we have a Facebook group called Excuse Space Me Space Brother with the ER. Again, I didn't make it, so you already know the problems already with it because it has an ER on it. It's the hard R that always gets us. So thank you very much for listening to me ramble for a very 30 minutes of your time. I appreciate it. Or 31 or 25 minutes, depending how much it gets edited out. Who cares? Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good night, good morning, good day, good evening. Whenever you listen to it, I appreciate you for doing it. Bye-bye.